Okay, hi you guys. This is video number 2. Yay, moving on up in the world. This video is going to be about, well, it was originally about pre-TTCing. Little backstory. Got married, of course, nay. We weren't planning on trying to get pregnant in June. Really, we weren't. We had talked about waiting until closer to the Christmas time before we actually started trying. But here's the thing, ignoramus me, I have been tracking my ovulation for many years, or at least for the last 2 or 3, just because I have inconsistent cycles. Overall, they're about 35 days, but sometimes, depending on my body and just depending on certain conditions, it may be 48, it may be 49, it may be 25, it may be 28 or 29. It's never really 100% consistent. So I didn't temp as much the month after we got married, just because, you're in, oh, I love you so much, honeymoon phase of being married, before you hit reality. Not that I don't love my husband, because I do. But my husband is not Catholic, but he was christened in the Catholic Church and so on and so forth. So one of the things that that he took from that, and he did attend a Catholic church when he was younger, but for the longest time he's not been a practicing Catholic. He believes that children are a gift from God, and that, necessarily that people should be open to the possibility of kids. And I love kids, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love kids to death. I have wanted a kid since I was like 19. And that's saying something, because I'm going to be 25 in the next 2 weeks. So yeah. But so we were doing natural family planning, and it wasn't necessarily a goof up. I guess you can call it a goof up if you want to. But it was right around the time of ovulation, and we ended up beating what I could only assume would be the night or the day of ovulation in June, which is literally, it was literally about a month after we got married. And I had been temping for a long time, and I knew I hadn't had a temperature increase, and I knew it was, we weren't really planning for kids, so I was like, why am I doing this? Because I know there's a chance I could get pregnant, but we did it anyway. And I then got up that next morning and had a temperature shift, and it was like, oh god. Those are my exact words, and actually that was my husband's exact words too. He was like, oh my god, are you serious? Because he knew, and he was like, that means we hit the nail on the head, didn't we? And I said, yes, sweetie, we did. And he was like, okay. He's like, we can do this, we've been together a long time, it's not that big of a deal, we'll love it no matter what. And so it then became a anxious 2-week wait right after being married. So you take being married for less than a month and putting on possibly being pregnant right after it. Yeah, that's really stressful. So 2 weeks later, I had taken a test on, I think it was 9 or 10 GPO, and got a negative. So I thought, okay, I'm not pregnant, whatever. Hey, that's fine, that's great. Maybe, that's a good thing. We don't really need a child right now. But I was having off the wall, and I mean off the wall dreams. About taking pregnancy tests and then coming back positive. Which is odd because you really wouldn't think that your mind would do that. But I think, let's see, where's my phone? I've actually got that cycle in my phone. I don't have the chart with me because at the time I was not using a charting thing like I am now. So let's see, I'll have to go back. Sorry guys, I know this is kind of random, and I'm at 6 minutes. Crap, okay. July, June. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to show you this on here because if you'll even be able to see it, I don't know if the glare is going to work or not. It's going to be sideways just because, I mean, I can turn it, oops, that's upside down. I can turn it this way, but, okay, so, note to self, really don't really need to know that when I, had sex, but whatever. I'm not shy, it's part of human nature. Last time we had sex was, oops, I said sex. I'll be nice. Last time we BD'd was the 28th of June, and that was cycle day 27 for me. Oh, wait, no, okay. Last time we BD'd before the 28th was the 22nd, and that was cycle day 21 for me. And the reason I thought I was safe was because my cervical mucus, yes, sure you want to know that, had switched and it was to creamy, so it wasn't even fertile, like, not the egg whitey fertile cervical mucus, so that was an oops on my part. So and it wasn't even saying I was in my fertile window at that particular time, because my cycles had been so messed up. Last time I stopped going by that a long time ago now. But 2 weeks later, let's see, I started spotting the 1st of July, after my temperature increased, which you probably cannot see that. I'm sorry. Yeah, right there. I started spotting, and I spotted for 3 or 4 days, which I thought that was odd because normally if I'm going to start my period, it would be like 2 days worth of spotting, then I would actually start my period, but I didn't. So let's see, took a pregnancy test on the 4th of July, and it came back positive. And I'm smiling, yes. It came back positive, and then the spotting had stopped, and then suddenly, in like a week later, I started spotting again. I had made an appointment for my 8-week, but I was right at about 6 weeks pregnant. I started spotting, started cramping, and we miscarried. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry over that because I've told that story. many times. But it still hurts. Okay. We miscarried at 6 weeks. And I'm sorry, you guys. And it drove a wedge between me and my husband. You know, they say a miscarriage can either make you or break you. And, you know, you say for richer or poor. Ah, okay. I'm not gonna cry, you guys. Okay. But I'm gonna continue this video again here in a little bit. Part 2. We'll put it that way, part 2.